Okay, hi and welcome. Would you please state your name and profession?
My name is Or Brook. I'm an associate professor of competition law and policy at the University of Leeds.
And why did you specialize in competition law?
I think it kind of just happened. So for my bachelor, I studied law and economics, and probably competition law was one of the fields in both law and economics that was a nice overlap. And just like when I started practicing law, I had more and more competition law cases, and then I decided to do a master's and a PhD.
And here we are.
Here we are, exactly.
So now please only provide a two-word answer. Big tech, more enforcement or less enforcement?
More enforcement.
Okay. What's your favorite competition law case at the moment and why?
So my favorite case is the Amazon Italy versus the Commission, where the General Court decided that Amazon cannot contest the Commission decision not to investigate to investigate the Amazon case, but to leave Italy out because the Italian authority already investigated the case. And it's my favorite decision or judgment currently, not because I think it's correct, but because I think shows how the courts see priority setting as being very formalistic approach. The court even states that it's a procedural decision, having only procedural effects, which go against all of my research and what we are trying to show. So kind of a fun example of what we are disagreeing with.
So speaking of your research, what is the one aspect of priority setting by competition authorities that you found perhaps most surprising?
So when we started studying priority setting also with Kati Cesares from the University of Amsterdam, we really focused on the authorities that we know, on Europe, the Commission. But then the second stage, we moved to developing countries. And what we see in developing countries, on the one hand, they need priority setting the most, mostly because a lot of them are still quite new, have very limited resources. But in practice, in many of those jurisdictions, they do not have priority setting powers according to the law. So having some interviews and questionnaire with them, we found kind of creative ways that they set enforcement priorities. For example, in India, complaints actually need to pay a relatively high fee in order to submit complaints. Or we saw other tricks or ways around priority setting in those kind of jurisdictions, which is really interesting.
That is surprising. Thank you so much, Or.
Thanks.